The United States has set tough conditions for Iran. According to Axios, Washington has put forward a ceasefire-related proposal through Egypt, Qatar, and the United Kingdom. The document, referred to as the Final Framework Agreement, was not delivered directly but conveyed simultaneously to Tehran via intermediaries. The Egyptian General Intelligence Directorate, Qatar's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the UK Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office. The US demands zero uranium enrichment and the dismantling of core facilities, including the Fordo underground plant. It also seeks to limit missile range to within 1,000 kilometers, which would prevent Iranian missiles from reaching Israel or most of Europe, reducing them to short-range defensive use. Additionally, Iran must halt all financial and technical support to so-called proxies, a core demand of Gulf Arab states. While presenting these highly stringent conditions, the US also attached corresponding incentives if Iran accepts the framework within 48 hours and begins reopening the Strait of Hormuz. The US will immediately withdraw orders to strike Iranian power plants and energy facilities. The proposal includes a timetable to gradually unlock $120 billion in frozen Iranian assets overseas for post-war reconstruction and civilian needs. If Iran refuses, Trump could claim to the international community that a diplomatic path was offered and Iran chose war. According to Iran's semi-official Tasnim news agency, the Supreme National Security Council is holding an emergency meeting. A spokesperson for Iran's foreign ministry initially stated that these conditions amount to humiliating terms of unconditional surrender. The proposal is seen more as an attempt to establish moral justification for potential military strikes. Iran has also proposed its own ceasefire conditions. Guarantees that war will not recur, closure of all US military bases in West Asia, and full compensation from the US and Israel to Iran. These three core demands are viewed by Tehran as red lines for dignity and security, including legally binding guarantees against future unilateral attacks on Iranian territory. Sovereignty or leadership. Iran argues that US bases in Iraq, Syria, Bahrain, and Qatar are sources of regional instability. It also demands substantial compensation for infrastructure damage and civilian casualties caused by airstrikes since the conflict began on the 28th of February 2026. According to the Daily Mail, citing UK Ministry of Defense sources, a Royal Navy Astute class nuclear-powered attack submarine has entered the Makran Sea Gulf of Oman, near the Iran-Pakistan coast. Its mission is not full-scale war but intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, and serving as a submarine-based platform to intercept Iranian anti-ship missiles to secure the Strait of Hormuz. The UK Foreign Office emphasized that this authorization falls under collective self-defense, aimed at reducing Iran's ability to threaten international shipping rather than targeting regime change. Iran has introduced a new 10 million Rial banknote, approximately $7. War-driven inflation and fears of financial collapse have triggered a massive cash withdrawal wave. Due to years of sanctions, the Rial has sharply depreciated, currently trading at about 1.5 to 1.6 million rials per US dollar. On the 21st of March 2026, Iran's central bank officially issued the new banknotes. Despite the high denomination, their real value is only about $6.5 on the black market. Just weeks earlier, Iran had introduced a 5 million rial note, and this rapid doubling reflects hyperinflation driven by the conflict. The new note features the Jama Mosque of Yazd on the front and the ancient Bam citadel on the back. The emergence of such high denominations signals loss of price control. In modern warfare, financial collapse often precedes military collapse. Printing large denomination currency to maintain liquidity accelerates currency devaluation. If US strikes destroy power plants, electronic payment systems would collapse instantly, making cash the last line of survival. Hyperinflation and cash shortages are eroding public trust in the government, and worsening conditions within 48 hours could trigger large-scale unrest, potentially part of Western maximum pressure strategy using non-military means. Iran has also signaled conditional cooperation on the Strait of Hormuz, informing a UN maritime body that it is ready to contribute to Gulf shipping security. However, it stated that, aside from enemies, all vessels must coordinate with Tehran via radio and report identity before transit. This conditional openness appears to test us limits. Whether such cooperation would be sufficient for Trump to cancel planned strikes on power infrastructure. Japan has rejected Iran's proposal for a negotiated access mechanism for neutral countries in the Strait of Hormuz. Japan's foreign ministry stated that transit rights should be based on international law, not administrative permission from any single country. Japan emphasized that the strait must remain fully and unconditionally open to all international commercial shipping, and any discriminatory restrictions on specific countries or vessels are unacceptable.